And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Explains that if you sign up for digital ID, it'll be the last really important decision you make, because your digital ID will be the only thing that your governments, institutions, and anybody authorised by those holding power will recognise you through. So you won't exist anymore. You'll be replaced by a QR code. You are not a number. You're an address to some resources. And that makes it particularly dangerous because those resources can be edited, and one of those fields for sure will be your vaccination status. And I'm absolutely sure, because I've seen it written down in multiple documents, that your digital ID will only remain valid if you comply with the conditions of validity. So one of them will be, have you had your latest recommended or mandated jabs? And because of the fact that I'm qualified in toxicology and worked for decades with others in what's called rational drug design, when I look at these jabs, the constituents, I am certain, formally certain, that they were designed to hurt you. And so, the digital ID will lose validity unless you roll your sleeve up. You must see that's designed to injure and, I believe, ultimately kill you. And I've explained.
Good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to 0. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. But he only realised when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from travelling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Liu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry, because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms.
A good score.
Shalom, shalom, Yisrael. Let's start by giving all glory, honor, praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RICANS. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, to teach and move well. Peace and salutations be to all for elect. Bella Tazwan coming at you from the province of Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. It's going to be a quick and transit lesson going into a digital credit system, a social credit system, and the digital ID. Okay? So let's look up digital ID so we know what's going on, because now these are all common terms because these things are being applied today. Back then, these seemed like myths, fairy tales, conspiracy theories, but now, no, it's not the same anymore. It says, as it happened, it says, Starmer says people will not be able to work in the UK without digital ID. All right. So this dude came out saying, and he said, by the end of this parliament, which is by 2030, right? You ain't gonna be able to work without having a digital ID, which goes into what? That Revelations 13 and 14 through 17. Okay? He finna force this thing upon you. It's not like he gonna hold you down and put a chip in you. No, he gonna exclude you from society. You're not gonna be able to work, which means you ain't gonna be able to pay your bills, okay, or do any of those things without having a digital ID in whichever form they present it. As of now, they're talking about digital ID cards, but we know that that's gonna go into a chip. Somehow, some way, you're going to come to an ultimatum and push out the chip. And your digital ID is going to be in your chip. All your information. Medical records, criminal records, okay, your background, your work history, your social security, your license, everything that you need, your birth certificate, everything that you need is going to be in that chip. And when they scan it, they're going to be able to know who you are. Now let's get into the social credit system, because this is what they got going on right now in China. Was trying to start it off with a digital ID system. They already started that. And now they're progressing to a social credit system, which is eventually about to progress into MOTP, the mark of the beast, or CHIP, the chip. Social credit system is a system that evaluates a citizen's trustworthiness based on a combination of personal data, including online and offline behavior, demographics, and social networks. You can't even post what you want to post on social media anymore without them taking some points off your social credit system. In this video, I'm going to put in the intro, this guy in China, he scrutinized the wicked politicians, pretty much. He was going up. Salakia, excuse me. He was going up against the wicked politicians, and he found some sort of evil in them, and he wanted to expose it. And they knocked his credit score down. All right, and deemed him as untrustworthy. And over there, they put your name up and your face up, the picture of you up on these big buildings, so the whole world can see you. Everybody can see you. It's almost like you're a criminal. And basically, it's telling everybody not to trust you because you're untrustworthy. Whether you in debt, whatever it may be, they're gonna make debt a thing of the past because everybody gonna have a social credit system, and if you're in debt, you're gonna be exposed. All right, but basically, they got these people's face plastered up on these buildings with their addresses and all, their names, okay, their contact information, all of that. All right, and it's saying don't trust these people. Pretty much, these people are untrustworthy. These people, and it's showing their social credit score. All right, they're basically putting a marker on your back when you drop in when your social credit score drops. Okay, they put a marker on your back. All right. So just like you got those neighborhood apps or those watchdog apps, whatever. Are you looking out for pedophiles in your neighborhood? You can also be able to look out for untrustworthy people in your neighborhood with low social credit scores. Okay? Then you're going to be living in areas based upon your social credit score. Dudes say you can't even buy an apartment, you can't start a business, none of those things. Hey, in his case, he couldn't even get a train ticket. They disabled him from traveling. You can't even travel there. All right? If your social credit system is low. All right? It says demographics and social networks. It says it aims to socially slot 1 second. Take this turn. It aims to socially engineer acceptable behaviors by providing benefits for conforming and punishments for acting outside set boundaries. All right. So that's what it's coming to. It ain't gonna be no more a credit score, a regular credit score. It's gonna be a social credit score. Salakia. Which is really gonna go into, everything. All right. Not just your debts, but everything you've been doing, how you are as a person, if you've been going against the government, if you've been paying your taxes, all these things, man. They're about to link all these together with the mark of the beast. Okay, so let's grab the scripture. In the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay? It's going to get to a point where they're going to start putting your ass down. They're going to say, to hell with the social credit system. That's a form of ultimate control. But it's going to get so bad to a point where they're not going to care anymore about social credit. If they consider you an untrustworthy human being, okay, they're going to put you at the bottom of society. And if you don't want to conform to their system, their NWO system, with the mark of the beast inside of you, you're going to have to be put to death. All right? It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads. This is going to be the ultimatum. You're going to get this chip and be a part of this social credit system. All right? Or you're not going to get this. You're not going to get this chip, and you're going to be killed. You're going to be put to death. They're going to say something like you're going to be put in a re-education camp, but they're going to be killing your ass in those camps. They're going to be killing jakes in those camps, man. They're going to seek to put you to death. That's what they really want. All right? They don't want to feed somebody. They want to put you in these camps and feed you or put you in prison and keep you maintained if you're never going to agree to their system. They just don't want you around anymore. They're going to dispose of you. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. And you see that a form of that taking place already when this guy said you're not going to be able to work. And if you can't work, how you going to have money to buy or sell? You know? If you can't work, all right, you're going to lose your job, and eventually you're going to lose everything. You're going to stop paying. You ain't going to be able to pay your bills. You're going to be able to maintain your house. They got you on a monthly, all your bills are monthly. So eventually, you're going to run out of those months. You're going to run out of money to pay those monthly bills. And those bills are going to come for your ass. They're going to cut your lights off, cut your water off, and then they're going to kick you out the house and take your land, everything, man. Take your business, all of that. All right? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you see how they set up a system to where they have complete control over you. And if you consent, it's over for you. All right? If you agree, that's it. That's where it ends. Okay? Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And Esau Edom loves to use this number. In symbolism, and on the back of UPC codes, on everything you purchase, there's a number 666 on it. Okay? So they associate this number with purchasing, buying, and selling. So that you know when the MOTB comes out, it's going to be centered around buying and selling. It's going to be centered around currency. Okay? Which the American dollar is failing. All these countries are looking towards a new currency. Everybody's looking for a new currency. What's it going to be? And who's going to get it first? All right? Nobody talking about it right now, but behind closed doors are all talking about who's going to bring out that chip first. Are we ready to bring out the chip? How are we going to present it to the people? How are we going to get them to accept it? Okay? What's going to be the punishments? What's going to be the benefits? Okay, they're weighing out all of these things right now. They're counting the costs right now because they're about to move in on you niggas, man. Trump said the world is not ready to accept that they can't stop what's about to happen. Somewhere along those lines. Okay? This devil's coming with something. They're planning something. They're always in the council rooms, conferencing, planning. All right? You just had them summon up all their generals and shit and admirals in a random meeting. Something's going on. You see Russia's moving their nukes closer towards NATO. If that war kicks off, the whole world's going to be in war. All right? I think that the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, they're a conglomerate of over 100 nations. Let's see. How many nations are in NATO? Let's see. Are in agreement. Let's say allied with NATO. Okay, so it says 32 member countries. So 32 countries are members of the NATO, which you got United States is one of them. United Kingdom is one of them. The UK, and the UK is the one that's talking about bringing that social credit system. That's like the digital ID. By the end of this parliament, everyone will have a digital ID, or you will not be able to work. It is as simple as that. All right, he ain't let nobody ask any questions, nothing. And you had 2 million people after that sign a petition disagreeing to it. Okay, but what's gonna happen when these people ain't got no food in their house? They got no money to put food on their table. They ain't been able to work. Okay, they're gonna start to inch closer and closer towards the MOTB. All right, even though they didn't want it. They're gonna be put in a position where they gonna feel that they have to get it because they're carnal. They need to be able to have something physical to go on, man. Let's grab this and close out. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Klaus Schwab said what? If you don't get this, if you don't conform with the NWO, okay, which is a digital currency system, you will be excluded from society. All right. If you don't see that we're in the last days, you're probably blind, spiritually and physically too. Okay. This is plain and simple at this point. You don't hear people saying nothing about conspiracy theorists anymore because everybody's a so-called conspiracy theorist. That's because the government's lies are coming to light now. The Lord is making Esau bare. He made him naked. He's exposing him. He can't hide anymore. There's nowhere for him to hide. All right? This devil is in he's in the straits right now. You don't know what he can do. You don't know what to do. All right? But, hey, we know what this devil's got planned. We know what's coming. And all we can do is rejoice and be glad because we know that this world is coming to its end finally. And our world is coming to its beginning finally, man. All right? We're excited to see it. So with that, I give all glory, honor, praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, CUBANS. So next time, inshallah, I truly hope this was edifying. Shalom.